Welcome to the Fasting Podcast featuring wellness and optimal weight. Wow. Join our co-hosts, Julie Phillips, myself, and the amazing Kimberly Jansen, both certified natural health professionals for 2 decades with a passion burning in our belly to educate and empower the masses. In these weekly episodes, you'll discover simplified approaches, little-known facts, insights from the wellness coach perspective, valuable tips, and amazing wellness tools and technologies. And now on to the show. This is our debut episode 1, Guiding Concepts on Fasting. And Kimberly Jansen is going to now teach us how things were in the beginning.
Okay, Julie. So in the beginning, we were all hunters and gatherers. There were periods of feast and periods of famine. What this did for the body is give it a break. We actually could rest at times because we weren't digesting and consuming and digesting and consuming. So the body systems could actually rest. Our soil was rich in nutrients. It did not have contaminants like pesticides and herbicides and insecticides. It also allowed our food to have more enzymes. More enzymes means easier digestion. We need that where food is not overprocessed and in turn reducing those enzymes. Nature and instinct drove what we were going to eat and when we were going to eat it. Julie, compare us now to modern day times.
What you've just described, Kim, it was in the caveman days. They were eating to live, and they might be lucky if they got to eat on any given day. But nowadays, many of us are living to eat. When is that next meal? And are even trained incorrectly that we should snack all day. And a lot of people eat from sunup to sundown. Body systems running overheated without a chance for their digestive system to rest or even use up all the food that they ate the previous time. We've got the depleted soils, the chemicals, the pesticides, and the enzymes are gone, like you say. So what's driving what and when we eat? Often it's misinformation, marketing hype, stress, and peer pressure. So now, Kim, please explain, this might be one of the most important topics to learn from this episode. Why do many fasters miss the boat when they're talking intermittent fasting?
Okay, first, let's define intermittent fasting. It is cycling between eating and not eating, eating and fasting. This does not specify what we need to eat, and unfortunately, it's not enough. Toxins enter us in our food, in our beverages we consume, in the air we breathe, and also in our water sources. One area that people don't realize is toxins enter us through our personal items. Personal items being lotions, soaps, shampoos, makeups, cleansers. All those things can contribute to 1, health risk, and 2, gaining weight and also retaining weight, which most people are not trying to do. So fat will actually sequester toxins. It will surround those toxins and store them. Have you ever seen 5 pounds of fat? 1, if you've held it, it feels like it's 10 to 15 pounds. But 2, there are these red lines that look as if they've been drawn on with a Sharpie. Those red lines are actually toxins. So fat can be our friend, but also our foe. Julie, tell us how.
This is very important, that fat, keeping those little toxins inside of them, if it's storing our fat around our belly or our hips, now, in a way, it's our friend because it's keeping them from our heart and vital organs. But in a large way, fat is not our friend because it's actually emitting over 30 substances, only 2 of which the body finds useful, and 1 substance it emits encourages the tumor risk and the insulin challenge. So toxins and fat can also build up right inside our arteries and around our cells. So the gunked up cells might have trouble pumping blood through the clogged up arteries. So people might have blood pressure, cholesterol and triglyceride problems, even when they're thin. And there's a thing called visceral fat. That visceral fat, you can get a body composition scale. We have our favorite one, very affordable, on our podcasting website. It's called the fasting podcast, wow.com. This visceral fat can be cling to almost suffocating your vital organs, even if you weigh 100 pounds, like our 100-pound friend. A key concept here is Kim said we don't want to keep regaining our weight back again. We want to keep it off. And you've heard about yo-yo dieting or rebounding. Well, we have a program called Wellness and Optimal Weight, WOW. And we're going to teach people how to put an end to yo-yo dieting. So if you picture a 250-pound woman with all these toxins hanging around her hips and thighs, but she does the diet of the month and loses weight for a little while, now the toxins can be more concentrated and creeping up around the heart and vital organs. So what does the body do to survive? Let's gain more fat. So back and forth yo-yoing. And now we break the cycle by detoxing the body. Let's get them out and let's switch them to eating and drinking super clean with plentiful, pure water. We'll have a whole separate episode to teach you why plastic bottled water is not the right choice. So now, Kim, can you explain this very important concept of the sequence in which the body looks for energy from its different sources? So what does it do first?
Okay, first, whatever we're eating and drinking is what calories will be burned. That's first. Next comes stored carbs and sugars. That's the glycogen, usually held in our muscles and also in our liver. 2,000 to 3,000 calories of energy can be stored in the liver on a regular basis. Hence, the mode of consuming and fasting is very vital to us actually eliminating those extra stores. Third is going to be protein, muscle, and stored fat. Now, everyone is trying to maintain protein sources and muscles, so we really want to get to that burning of stored fat. Julie, give us a little more details, conclusions on eating and drinking all natural organic and how we can get to that stored fat quicker.
Perfect. And I love that you said besides eating and drinking all natural and organic whenever possible, we definitely want to avoid overeating because Kim taught us that's what the body is going to burn first every time. And then it's going to have to dump those glycogen stores in the muscles and liver. So we want to minimize what we call net carbs. So what are net carbs? You take the total carbs of a food, you subtract the fiber and the sugar alcohols, which like a natural plant called erythritol. The fiber and the sugar alcohols don't affect the glycogen stores and they don't affect the pancreas and the blood sugar. So those are like freebies. So we want to minimize net carbs so the body can get right around to burning the stored fat because we have to preserve our muscle with pure dietary protein. So you're going to learn about that in a separate episode. This is a topic some people don't quite grasp, a very important topic. Here's a key concept to learn from what Kim has taught us. It can take an average person 10 to 12 hours to use up all the food they ate and drank, and then the glycogen stores in the muscles and liver. So now what do we want to do when we're fasting and we're trying to decrease our body fat percent? We want to get as longer and longer fasting windows to our comfort level and keep monitoring our body fat percent and our visceral fat. So I'll give you an example, 16 hours. If you say, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit more like the cavemen and I'm going to start at an 8-hour caloric eating window where I eat maybe from noon to 8 p.m. And then I did primarily pure water. The other 16 hours while my body's depleting all those, if it took me 10 to 12 hours to deplete that, then now out of those 16 hours, we might have 4 to even 6. So we're having a longer window to our comfort zone to try to get the body to get that toxin-laden fat out of there. And it's crucial that we have plentiful, pure water and open bowels, which are crucial for the exit of the toxins that are coming out of those fat cells. So Kim's going to tell you just a little bit about the bowel movements and how exciting it can be when we're actually making the body burn the fat.
It's going to be light brown in color. One long tube. There will be no odor. That's what good poop is. Also, each time you eat, you should poop, just like a baby. Let me tell you this. We want to burn fat. When we burn fat, it equals 9 calories of energy. When we burn carb and protein, that's only 4 calories. We want to burn fat. Burning fat helps us reduce appetites, food cravings, helps us release toxins. and also helps the fuel for our bodies and our brains to be at the utmost optional, most efficient. Our second episode is going to be Basics of Fasting Made Easy. Does this sound exciting? We're going to now take you through the basics of fasting. We gave you a little history. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Fasting Podcast. And please check out our other episodes. You're going to love them, both podcast and YouTube. The fastingpodcastwow.com. You also have an opportunity to hear 2 expert doctors talk about our amazing all-natural wellness and optimal weight, what's our favorite word? Wow program. Go to lifeboatdoctors.com. And then tune in every week to the Fasting Podcast. And please, if you love us, share us with your friends and family. Say you want to check these ladies out because they're going to educate you. Also, if you love the show, give us a 5-star review on iTunes. That's what's going to keep us going and help us to even build our audiences and stay longer to provide you more and more info. Julie, anything else?
Let's hear some feedback from you guys. Email us at thefastingpodcastwow@gmail.com and check out our website, thefastingpodcastwow.com. We want to hear how you're doing. And when you refer people, if you've already seen 1 or 2 episodes, make sure they start at the beginning. And we'd love to hear your feedback and how you're liking things. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
Bye-bye.
Bye.